The building at 47 Marlowe Street wasn't haunted. Haunting implies a ghost, a remnant, something that once lived. What dwelled in the fourth entrance of Augusta's crumbling red brick hive was older, hungrier, a thing that had never known breath, only the slow, greasy decay of time. The job postings still went up, yellowed flyers peeling like sunburned skin from the bulletin board in the lobby. Live-in concierge wanted, competitive pay, quiet hours. Quiet. That word slithered through the building's veins, a lie wrapped in cobwebs. Maria, the first, had lasted one night. They found her rosary beads tangled in the elevator cables the next morning, the crucifix bent backward. Sandra, the bruiser with biceps like knotted rope, fled after hearing something scratch at her door. Not wood, but the concrete wall behind the wood, whispering her childhood nickname in her dead father's voice. Peter, the Marine they discovered at dawn, his face frozen in a rictus grin, one hand clutching a Polaroid of his ex-wife, taken 3 years after her funeral. The concierge's room remained empty now, its radiator hissing like a spiteful serpent, its walls sweating a black, tarlish mucus that smelled of burnt hair and birthday candles. My name is Michael Reed, 47 years old, married. There are no children. My wife and I have been living in this building for 2 years, 5 months and 22 days. I suffer from chronic insomnia. Just like my wife, just like my neighbor, like all my neighbors and the unwitting guardian of the apartments in Block B. I'm not afraid of the dark. If it's dark in my apartment, the apartment is always quiet. We are protected in the apartment. But the entrance is a completely different story. None of the residents knows what exactly lives in our entrance, but everyone understands perfectly well that only the sun goes below the horizon. In no case should you leave the apartment. It's an unspoken rule. The elevator was the first sign, the one that told you it was time to bolt every lock on your door and pray you hadn't waited too long. By day, it was a wheezing relic, a rust-scarred box with buttons worn down by decades of greasy fingers. Harmless. Harmless until sunset. But when the sun dipped below the crooked skyline of Augusta, the elevator woke up. You could hear it through the walls. A mechanical heartbeat pulsing up from the basement, each thud echoing like a war drum down the spine of the building. The sound wasn't loud, not really. It was worse than loud. It was persistent. It was alive. Our apartment sits closest to the elevator shaft, so I hear everything. Sometimes the elevator stops on our floor and just breathes. The doors open and close, open and close, open and close. A slow, steady rhythm, like something practicing patience, like something rehearsing the act of being invited in. It's almost impossible not to look, to press your ear to the wall, to peek out. Curiosity, after all, is only human. But I know what happened to Peter, so I don't look. I sit in the dark with my hands clenched and try to imagine what's out there, just inches away. And I pray to God that my imagination is worse than the truth. But I know it's not even close. The heartbeat of the elevator might be something you can get used to. But the sound of the doorbell, that's nearly impossible to endure. If it picks your door for the night, you're in for a long one. It will knock and ring again and again, all night. We installed a smart doorbell after 3 such nights, one we can turn off at bedtime. But it is clever. Now it just knocks, sometimes gently like a whisper. Other times like it's kicking the damn door in. But once it hooks itself onto your door, it won't stop until the first light of dawn. Every morning, we clean the mess it leaves behind. A sludge, thick and foul, pooling near the threshold. A mix of soil, clay, milk, maybe. The consistency's different every time. Sometimes a puddle, sometimes in chunks, tiny, ragged, meat-like clumps. And the smell, that stench, like rot soaked in sorrow. You might wonder, how does it choose a door? Over time, we figured it out. The stairway light became our ally. Before sunset, we check it. If the peephole shows any light from the hallway, we're safe. It's not hunting us tonight. But if it's pitch black, like something swallowed the light itself, don't look, because it's already looking at you. From the other side. The first time I saw, it was 2 weeks after we moved in. I was on my way to the bathroom in the middle of the night, Don't ask me why. I peeked through the peephole. I just did. And there it was. Just a person, at first, only I couldn't see a face. The moment our eyes met, if you can call it that, it lunged at the door, slammed into it with inhuman force over and over. I called the cops, shaking. My wife screamed. I collapsed onto the hallway floor, my legs useless. 15 minutes later, a police cruiser pulled up. 2 officers strolled out like they were on a coffee break. They buzzed random apartments, poked around the ground floor windows, then left. They followed the book, sure. But that was the moment I realized our world inside this building doesn't connect to theirs. The buzzer never rang in our apartment. They couldn't hear my shouts from the window. We're sealed in, like in a different reality. The next morning, I made another chilling discovery. When the elevator comes to life at night, everything else goes quiet. Our walls are paper thin. During the day, I can hear everything. The neighbor's footsteps, the baby next door, the thumping bass from the apartment below. But after sunset, silence. Not peaceful silence, oppressive silence. The kind that feels cut out with a knife. You sit there, surrounded by the same furniture, the same walls, the same dumb TV, and none of it feels real anymore. It's like being trapped in a bad dream with no way out. Then there was the night our friend Mikey stayed over. We didn't warn him, thought it was better that way. We drank, laughed, went to bed. Morning came and his mattress was empty. The front door was wide open. I called him. He picked up right away. His voice was shaking. Mike, man, I don't know what the hell lives in your building, but I'm not coming back, ever. I couldn't sleep, right? So I go out to smoke. Didn't want to light up inside, so I stepped out to the stairwell, went 1 floor down. I'm staring out the window and I get this feeling, like panic, but weird. Then I realize it's because something's behind me. I turn my head and I swear to God, something was standing a floor above, watching me. I froze but tried to act normal. It started moving, fast, not running, not walking, like lunging, jerky. Its face, Mike, its face was folded in, sewn in. No mouth, no eyes, just skin. Its arms were stumps with fingers, too few and too long, crooked, and it kept muttering, like it was trying to speak but couldn't. I ran full speed, took off down the stairs, but it got faster too. Every time I looked back, it was closer. And then, this is where it gets real freaky, I realized I wasn't going anywhere. I'd run down 10, maybe 12 floors, but the window on every landing still showed the 3rd floor. I was stuck, running in circles, like a damn cartoon. When it reached out, one of those disgusting stumps almost touched me. I threw myself out the window, broke my arm, but it was worth it. Better than whatever that thing wanted. You're my boy, Mike, but I'm telling you now, your place is cursed. I ain't ever stepping foot in that hellhole again. You might ask, why haven't we done something? Called someone? Believe me, we tried. The housing company sent repairmen, daytime only, of course. They checked the elevator, said everything's fine, looked at the wiring, perfect condition. The police don't even take our calls anymore. They think it's a prank, a sick joke, even though they know how many bodies came out of our building. Mostly homeless, addicts, but sometimes just regular folks, friends, kids. And the cause of death? Never an overdose. Sometimes the syringes are still sealed. We called in a psychic once, real showman type, eyeliner, velvet coat, the whole deal. Walked around with a candle, said the dead were clawing to get out. Said he could contain them for a price. We paid. He vanished. Maybe the ghost got him, or maybe he just blocked our number and split. We even tried exploring the building. Searched the top floor, nothing. The basement, cleaner than most clinics. Maybe it lives in one of the abandoned apartments. Maybe it crawls out at night. We'd break into those units to check, but no one wants jail time and a psych eval for believing in monsters. So now, all we've got is the 5 simple rules to stay alive. 1. Lock your door with every bolt you've got. 2. If you're out past sunset, don't come home. 3. If there's no light through the peephole, don't look. 4. Ignore the knocks. Ignore the bell. 5. If you're stuck in the stairwell, jump.